Bom dia, Portugal!
In Portugal, there's a YouTube show full of fun facts you need to know. Carl rings the bell and the members show to the GMP morning show. Featured guests will come and they will blow your mind. The audience will do so in kind. The little vanity mixed with some insanity on the morning show with GMP.
Good morning, Portugal, and I'd like to welcome you to another fantastic day.
Hey, Gumpers.
Hola, bon dia, alegria. Munson here with a Good Morning Portugal show, live stream and podcast. It's Filomena Friday, everybody. Feel Good Friday. How are you doing this morning? Let's see who's here and then welcome her onto the screen. She might be, like me, a little bit tired. We were working hard last night as well. I say we, mostly Filomena. I was just asking the occasional question. Great webinar last night for Expats Portugal. The hidden gems, 3 hidden gems. She might, if we ask her very nicely, remind us this morning, and you'll be able to see those and the whole presentation on the Expats Portugal YouTube channel on Sunday evening when it will be published. So any questions you've got, get them in now about the Portuguese language and culture. Let's just say hi to everybody who's here this morning. Old guy in Europe, James. Bom dia, Campus. Feliz sexta a todos. Como tem passado? Episode 9 already of the Old Guy in Europe has now hit the streets. Published on YouTube. Check it out. Not until after the show, and we go back to the times when he was wrestling the big slug, where he got the name Slug's friend James from that massive slab of lozenge at the Dr. Bayard's factory. I don't know. I'm going to talk about this morning as well. If the recipe for a Dr. Bayard's lozenge is in On Maestre Cocinero, which I picked up yesterday. Maybe Filomena knows where that factory is and we can have a tour there one day. Deagle's in. Fabulous news from Deagle. We'll come back to that later on. Coach Turner's in. We'll cover your God Squad tip of the day, full of Olympic passion, fever and enthusiasm as well. Thank you for that. T-Duck is in. Bon dia, alegria, Gumpers. From Stockholm this morning, Anna's joining us. Bon fin semana todos from summer Stockholm, where it's 23 degrees today in Scandinavia there. And Michael Barton with the Bon dia Portugal. And Jackie so far this morning. Bon dia pessoas adoráveis. Adoráveis. The joys of Googly Translate. Well, yes, mostly. We'll see. We'll find out. Let's play our music and give her a nice big round of applause.
I need to learn the language to put me at ease.
Sing along.
It's going to take time learning Portuguese.
Filomena Friday.
I get confused nearly every day.
Filomena Friday.
How do I know which verb is okay?
Filomena Friday.
Practice those words so loud and clear.
Filomena Friday.
On a Filomena Friday, it's a day of cheer.
Woohoo!
Filomena Friday.
Tips for groups@gmail.com.
And here she is. Hola, bon dia, alegria.
Olá, bom dia. Bom dia a todos.
Oh, outside this morning.
Sim.
Na frente.
Ao ar livre. Ao ar livre.
Free range.
Well, we also have chicken, so you can.
I have seen that on Mios Ovos, our livre. So free range and outside, same thing.
Yeah, because ar livre, literally free air.
Yes.
So it's outside. Yeah.
Fantastic. Good morning to you, Antonio, and Hugh, who's just joined us, and we've got John Joel de Norte, I think, just popped in. So there he is on screen right now. So I'm gonna test myself here. I think I've got this correctly. Yes, Hugh, close shave. You barely recognized me. It is me. It's not AI or my younger brother. Is that right?
Ar livre. Ar livre.
So what I've put there
Ao
is
ar livre, ao ar livre is at the free air, so outside. Ao
Oh.
ar livre. So yeah, ar livre. Yeah,
is that right now?
the whole expression.
Yes.
You insert ar between ao and livre. So you say ao ar livre. 3
Ar
words.
livre.
Ao ar livre.
Okay. You see, that's why we need you here. There's no way we'd have figured that out on our own. Antonio with a bon dia, Lady Filomena, this morning.
Olá, bom dia, Lord Antonio.
Lord Antonio. Very good. How is it over there at Quinta dos Tres Rios? Hugh, let us know. How's everything going with you? I did recommend you. I don't know if you're smoking any. What are herrings? That's what kippers are, isn't it? Somebody was talking about kippers. The wonderful Mark Avery. There might be a foodie sort of theme, because I'd love you to tell me more about this, because this is incredible. Look at that. This book that I picked up yesterday. But are you smoking any kippers? The Mark Avery over on Twitter, who posts up beautiful pictures of food pretty much every day on X. I recommended you to him because he was bemoaning the fact you couldn't get kippers here in Portugal. Perhaps that's the first thing we can put to you, Filomena. Have you seen kippers here? It is English Week at Aldi this week. Maybe we'll see him at Aldi. Are you familiar with the kipper?
No. I mean, I don't know. No.
Well, it's a smoked herring, and Mark Avery seemed to think it was one of the best breakfasts ever. It's kind of traditional and British and breakfasty. But
Mhm.
there's 2 million bones, 2 million tiny bones in every tiny little so-called kipper fillet, which you have to make. I mean, you know when something's good, don't you? When someone's prepared to put up with that nonsense of making their way through 2 million bones just to have a nice flavor. And that's how it is with the kipper, an enduring breakfast, I think. But I'm thinking, do the Portuguese like smoking their food? Salting, yes, we know that.
Sausages, yes.
Yes, okay, but maybe not so much the herring. Okay,
No.
if you have found herrings, smoked herrings here in Portugal, do let us know, and we can tip Mark Avery off. Oh, João Ernesto, thank you very much. We've got some footage of the wonderful Mundo de Dançar event here last night. I'll send a video to. I thought you already had. Whichever, we will be proud and delighted to show those. Are you familiar with that festival up there, Filomena? The World of Dance up there in Ponte Lima?
No. There are so many festivals going on now in
Yes.
summer. So many. It's a bit hard to keep up with everyone.
You're not kidding. Well, talking of which, how's it going? What have you been enjoying this summer so far?
Well, not much. I've been a bit busy, but and I've also worked this week. I've worked on Tuesday and Wednesday touring.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, and how did that go?
Oh well, very well. It was a bit hot, but
Right.
but apart from the temperature, everything was fine. And
can you
I
tell
think
us where you went? Where did you go and what did you do? What did you treat people to?
yeah. Well, because the couple wanted to see some Roman ruins, we started on Tuesday with Coimbra, near Coimbra, of course. So Coimbra, we visited Coimbra first in the morning, calmly, and we went to the museum and the ruins, and I explained because I have been so many times in those ruins. I explained some details about the places we were seeing there, and a bit about the city and what was it like. And we have also seen the new excavations that are going on right next to the Casa dos Repuxos, one of the houses. And so we have spent the morning there because they open at 10 o'clock. So we have spent the morning there. Then we had lunch at the museum restaurant. And after that, we went to Reversal. We visited the museum of the Roman villa, and then we were taken because if you want to visit Reversal Roman villa, you have to go to the museum first, and so then they take the key to open the gate, to show you the Roman villa.
I
So
didn't know you could do that. I was taken there because I went
yeah.
to Penella one day.
Hmm.
The opening of the Lagarde, or a celebration of local enterprise, because Penella's amazing. It's got an enterprise
Oh
centre on the edge.
yes. Penella has got it's small, but it has lots of interesting things.
Place. Yeah, yeah, and we were given a tour of the Lagarde, and it had been refurbished, and there was a company that was selling wonderful olive oil and wines, and beautiful food was laid on. Then they put us on a coach and took us out to the Roman ruins at Rabassal, which
Yeah.
is under, as you say, is under lock and key, isn't it? You have to have a
Hmm.
special permission or
Yeah,
arrangement to
if
get.
you go and visit the museum first, then they take you to the ruins.
Yes, and we were walking in this field. When you get there, it's like a field, really, isn't it?
Yes,
And
it is a field.
yeah,
Yeah.
the chap who took us, our tour guide, I got a dustpan and brush, and I was thinking, hold on a minute, what's going to happen now? And he got a dustpan and brush that was concealed behind a low wall, and he started to part the sand, the sandy soil on the ground,
Yeah.
and revealed a Roman mosaic on the floor. It was fantastic.
Yeah, well, that part is just for a group because a few years ago they would do that for every visitor, even
Oh,
if it was 2 or 3 visitors. But you can't do that every time because there are, well, luckily there are lots of people visiting. But
yeah.
if 2 or 3 people go, and then an hour later another 2 go, and you are always covering and uncovering, and because the those little pieces, you know how the Roman tiles are with
Yeah, very
tiny
thick.
stones, and
Yes, yes.
then they are covered, of course, because they have to be protected from the sun, from the rain, so they are covered with sand, and so every time you take the sand from the top of the tiles, you take the risk of taking one little piece of the tile, right, or
Mm,
more. So
yes.
so now that was a decision taken a few years ago, that now just if it's a group, okay, then
Yes.
they take the sand out. uh,
Otherwise,
for
you're
example,
literally sanding it down, aren't you? Otherwise.
yes,
Yeah.
because it's a big risk. It's a bit, and because they were doing it constantly and covering, uncovering, covering, uncovering, and so they decided not to unless the number justifies it. I mean,
Okay.
it.
So
Yeah,
to have that experience,
you have to
organize
be.
yourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just to elaborate on that, Rabassal is the village outside of Penella, isn't it? In the valley,
Yes.
basically,
Yes.
down
Hmm.
from the hill, where there's a wonderful blessed cheesemaker. And so
Yeah, more than one.
oh, okay, blessed are the cheesemakers in
Even old ladies, even the old ladies there, they have usually they have sheep and goats, and they make their own cheese as well.
Okay, so it's kind of just like a local tradition to do
Yeah.
that. Okay,
Yes.
that's
Yes.
good to know. All right, and so there's a lovely museum and visitor center in the town itself, and then you can have a wander down to the. I think it's UNESCO honored, isn't it? It's a significant historical site, that Roman site at Robertsal.
Yes, and also because if you go to Coimbra was the big city, a very important city in that time, because it was the main road between Lisbon and Braga, was passing there. So of course it was a big city, and people would stay there overnight, and so it was a bit well crowded at that time, and so and so for you to understand also a bit of the surrounding area, for example, Riversal and Santiago da Guarda, because then with my customers on Tuesday, I took them to Santiago da Guarda also to see another part of Roman ruins, and this is good for you to have a general idea of what was like, for example, a lord, like Lord Antonio,
Yes,
a
and
lord,
well, and we've got Lord Travancore as well. We have some very special people in this community, you know.
so
Lord Travancore is it?
a
Yeah.
nobleman from Coimbra. They would have a beautiful and big, huge house in the countryside, so it's not far from Coimbra, but they would prefer to have a house in the quietness of the countryside. So in Rabassal, in Santiago da Guarda, for example,
Typical.
Rabassal belonging to Penela now, and Santiago da Guarda belonging to Ancião. So everything very close.
Very good. And how big is would Coimbra have been back in the day? How many inhabitants? What sort of scale are we talking about?
Well, if you have been to Coimbra, what you have seen there, it's just a small part of the city. So it was very, very, very big. I don't know in terms of numbers, but it was a huge city. And for example, we have one house, the Casa de Cantaber, that it was the biggest or one of the biggest in the Roman Empire.
Amazing. Okay, so a very significant site here in Portugal. Just trying to give you a sense of where it is. Didn't expect to be talking about this morning, but it's very, very interesting to see the impact of the Romans here in Portugal. And they couldn't have chosen a more central position, really. Maybe that was the idea. We will govern Portugal from the middle.
Yeah, because as I said, between Lisbon and Braga, Coimbra was a very strategic point.
Yes, and there we go. Condeixa Nova is the modern town.
Condeixa Nova.
Condeixa Nova. And there you can see Ruínas de Coimbra right there, where there are some renovation works taking place. They're going to be closing parts of it. We've been hearing from people. So there we go. Your big principal city, obviously, is Coimbra, not far away.
No.
And Rabassal, not far away from Coimbra. Once you're in that part of the country there. So fabulous.
Coimbra, which was Iaminium.
Oh, is that the Roman name for Coimbra?
Iaminium, yeah.
Right, okay. We've got kings here as well this morning. I rather like the sound of Rei Jaime as well. Okay, you can have that this morning. An old guy made a king this morning. I think you had to work for it back in the Roman days. You couldn't just declare yourself. That would be asking for trouble, I suspect, at the times.
No problem, Rei Jaime.
Rei Jaime. Barak, I'm visiting the village in the next few weeks and looking forward to it very much. Why has he been? Has he been over that way? Well, let's find out what he's saying in just a moment. It was Bob who sent a video of the Mundo, the Serbian demonstration of dance will be shared with you in just a moment, which will be a nice little a cultural highlight to share with you. And I dare say Filomena will tell us she's either been to Serbia or has Serbian friends, I suspect.
Not yet.
Not yet. What a great answer. Not yet.
Not yet.
Okay. Brilliant. Oh, and another, the Olympics are turning out to be pretty good for Portugal. We've had a bronze already, and first, what's this medal? Another medal anyway yesterday. I'm not sure what color it is for Portugal yesterday. Yes, and we should, at this moment, while we're talking about sport, let's honor Pepe, who retired, I think, officially yesterday. With a lot of love for this man who's retired now from, I don't know if he's retired from his national career, what exactly that means, but certainly a great outpouring of love.
I think it will be linked with football anyway.
Forever and ever, right? Yeah,
yeah. He will find a way, either as a coach or, something that he might do.
Hugely loved, and some might say living in the shadow of Cristiano for quite a lot of the time. But there he is, a veteran of Portuguese football. Muito obrigado, Pepe, from many people, a much beloved player here in the Portuguese football scene. Thank you very much for your contributions on 913-590-303. Let's just conclude whilst we're waiting for your questions about the Portuguese language. Filomena is here to help. Professor. Yeah. Pascoal is here to help you learn Portuguese.
If I may, yes. Professora.
Professora. Is that not what I said? Okay.
I heard professor. I don't know.
No, I swallowed. Yes, no, fair enough. Professora.
You swallowed the last A as the Portuguese.
Yes, I did. I'll say that
professora.
now.
Professora.
I'll take that. Apparently, Hugh says the Portuguese are into smoking meat.
Yeah, meat.
You said, yeah.
Meat, yes.
Unfortunately, though, they use a lot of pine wood, not good due to carcinogens. You should only smoke with oak or hickory. So if you're a smoker at home of your meat or your fish, Hugh recommending their oak or hickory. At the moment, traditional smoking cannot be done as the air temperature is way too high. Very interesting. Maximum temperature around 23, and certainly in Visio, where Hugh is, it's going to be a lot hotter than that. What are your temperatures like at the moment, Hugh? And how are those lovely vineyards of yours coming on? I'm still looking forward to making my video of our wander around your vineyard. Barak, yes, I'm visiting the village, Travanca, going to Travanca soon. When are you over then, Jackie? And Carl, I'm coming to view a property in Travanca. I'm meeting my new dog at the rescue centre. That's nice. You've already made friends with a dog in Portugal. And have you pen pals with the dog already? And most important, I hope to meet up with the fabulously funny Portuguese who was on the show yesterday. Serbia, Colombia, and Uruguay were my favourites last night. So let's have a quick look at that. Let's have a bit of musical entertainment. And at the end of the show, I'm going to play you Rockin' Ron Rogers' new tune as well, if I possibly can find a way of doing that. He sent me the MP3. I think I'll be able to do that. We might accompany with that some webcam footage of Porto. Okay, let's go up to Ponte Lima and have some Serbian. It really should be Portuguese when Filomena's here, but we'll make an exception and look at this Serbian performance last night at the World Music Festival that's going on in Ponte Lima. How's that? That was really good, wasn't it? Very good indeed.
And
well
it
done,
reminded me of my Romanian friends.
Okay.
Romanian
Yes.
friends also dance a similar dance. Yeah.
Very good. Well, if you've got any footage of Colombia or Uruguay, John, pop it over on 913-590-303, and we'll take a look at that. We'll also, what's going on in the neighborhood there, Filomena?
Well, my dog has spotted something.
Somebody's walked past the end of the street.
Oh yes, every time he sees someone that doesn't belong to the street,
He knows. Yeah,
he
absolutely.
knows.
He's just doing his job right there. Okay, fantastic. Is there anything in particular that's coming up? I often ask you this because sometimes I think what people want to know goes in waves in terms of their Portuguese education. What's a common theme at the moment when it's coming to learning the Portuguese language? Among your students, I mean.
Well, at the moment in the month of August, I'm not teaching.
Oh, do you take August off every year?
Yes, in August I always stop because I also need some weeks for myself, right?
Absolutely, as your summer holiday. Very good.
I can't go on forever non-stop. So I usually stop in August. At the moment I can't remember anything in particular that they were struggling with, but usually, some grammar details. For example, the nu and na and nus and na. So the in the or at the, that it's different from Spanish because lots of people, especially Americans, they know Spanish. And then they realize that it's not the same in Spanish and in Portuguese if you want to say in the something or at the something.
Can we go through that quickly? That sounds very useful.
Yeah, because for example, in Spanish, if you want to say in the world, you say en el mundo. So you have en el. You have two words, but in Portuguese, you join the two words together, and em in Portuguese, em, and then u, which is the o, meaning the masculine word mundo. It's the world, o mundo. So instead of saying em o mundo, in the world, we join the two words, the preposition and the article, and it's nu, N-O, nu mundo,
Okay.
right?
Right. You
So,
wouldn't guess that, would you?
yeah, well, sometimes people don't identify the word nu being two words in one, right?
Yes, right.
Or that is the masculine, but then it's the feminine. Na, for example, if you want to say in the street, na rua, because rua is a feminine word ending in a, and so na rua.
And when I'm asking for my coffee to be delivered to the outside to the terrace, I'm saying na frente, aren't I? No, no, Carl. You've been doing that wrong for several years now.
Na frente. No, you could say, for example, na esplanada, because we call esplanada a terrace at the
Yes.
cafe. We
Yes.
call esplanada, so you can say na esplanada, por favor, na
Okay.
esplanada.
Let's start doing that then.
Na frente, na frente
What
is
have I
not
been
the
saying
same.
all this time? What have I
No,
been saying?
because with frente
Yeah.
we have two, let's say, possible things to say.
Oh dear.
We can say em frente, meaning opposite. If
Yeah.
something is opposite, imagine a street and you have a pharmacy, and the opposite you have a supermarket. And you can say, o supermercado é em frente da farmácia, right? Na fora, no. You can say
You tooty duck.
no. You can say lá fora, meaning there, outside, but
La fora.
out,
Okay.
out there.
Yeah.
So lá fora, not na fora. No. So as I was saying, with frente, you can say em frente, meaning opposite, or you can say à frente, in front of. So à frente, you can say à frente do café, in front of the café, à frente.
Yes.
So you could say à frente,
Okay.
but
All
not
right.
frente. Not
That's
the
probably
frente.
why I've got away with it. And a bit of pointing helps as well, doesn't it? And if
Yes,
you say,
of
oh,
course.
God, what an
No,
idiot. You
as
obviously mean outside.
as I keep saying, even if you don't say it correctly, people will understand, because in
Yeah.
the context, in the situation, if you say fora, well, fora is the key word, right?
Yes.
Or
Well,
frente.
yes. Good.
Fora, out, or frente, front. So of course it's in the front of the cafe, is outside. So the key words are there.
Good. Good. Okay. So not entirely disastrous with that, but it's always
No.
good to check these things with you. And any other confessions, please pop them into the chat. And
Oh, lots of.
oh, yeah, no, I know you don't judge us. You help
Lots of.
us.
So you have, for example, with the preposition do.
Yes.
Do can be from or of. So for example, you can say uh, do dia, as partes do dia, the parts of the day, as partes do dia, do, because it's a contraction of the preposition de, of, plus the u, and dia is an exception because ends
Hey,
with an a, but it's a masculine. That's why we say bon dia, because bon is the masculine good. Otherwise, it would be boa, like boa tarde and boa noite, right?
of course,
So
of course.
the bom dia is masculine, boa tarde, boa noite, they are feminine. So that's why we say, for example, the parts of the day, as partes do dia. Do, it's do plus an O, the of the day.
Very good. Okay, there you go. Any other questions? Pop them in the
And
chat. You know what to do. Go on. Sorry, carry on.
and the preposition usually two, but prepositions you can't translate always the same. But usually it means two, and so or at. It can be depending on the sentence. So if you say I'm going to the café, eu vou ao café.
I'll
Café is a masculine word. You say the café, o café. So you have to say eu vou ao café. So ao café, because it's an a, the preposition to, and the O, which is the article the, to the. If you are going to the pastry shop, for example, then you say eu vou à pastelaria, and a is an A with an accent to the left side, so acento grave, and that is the contraction of two A's. The first A is to, the preposition. The second A is the article. And so the A plus the A is a. Eu vou à pastelaria.
Very good. There you go. Thank you very much for that. We often get great questions and observations from James as well, old guy in Europe. This isn't one of them. I think that's him getting involved in the dancing. It got way more complex than that, with dozens of dancers and huge jumps from Serbia. What is James? James does say something about the language here. Yes, his current challenge is knowing which word to use when there is more than one word meaning the same thing. I mean, presumably the best thing with that, Filomena, is just to say it anyway and check with who you're speaking
Yes,
to.
you have to keep on listening to other people and see when they use one word and see when they use the other word.
Yes,
That's the only way.
There you go. Also, my English brain continues to see no. Yes, no. Yeah, that is so difficult, isn't it? As
Yes.
now instead of in the masculine. After years of knowing it as a negative, it's entirely different in Portugal. One day I will fully integrate and stop doing this. That will be a special moment. And para, to a place, bus, for example. Would you like to elaborate on that?
Yes, both meaning to,
Yes.
and para, but is used when you go somewhere for, let's say, short period of time.
Mhm.
So, for example, you go to the supermarket just to buy your things and come out. You go to the cafe just to drink a coffee and come out. You go to Lisbon for a visit, but you come back the same day. So that you use a. Eu vou a Lisboa hoje, eu vou agora ao café, eu vou ao supermercado fazer compras. So that is some, ao cinema. So things that you just go and come back. Para either indicates just the direction. The bus goes to Lisbon. O autocarro vai para Lisboa. Okay? Or para, to a bus stop. Well, if you go to the bus stop just for a few minutes and then come back, it's
Which would make you a very interesting person. I'm just popping to visit the bus stop.
I'm just going to visit this bus stop and then okay.
Make new friends.
If it's para,
Okay.
If it's para, you are going to the bus stop and there and stay there until the bus comes.
Like popping to do, yeah.
Yeah, so para is, as I was saying, para indicates either just the direction, o autocarro vai para Lisboa, the final destination. Remember when we have seen para and por, so para is the destination, the final goal. So o autocarro vai para Lisboa, that is the last stop, Lisboa. Or when you say, for example, eu amanhã vou para Lisboa. Tomorrow I'm going to Lisbon. If you say para, it means that you are not coming back the same day. Either you stay there for a few days, or you are just going there for the, to take a plane to go somewhere else. So the para is you are not coming back in a short period of time. I mean, usually
if you get that wrong, that can be quite the shock to somebody, can it? Like, what? You're not coming back? Yeah, I'm coming back.
No, but the para is more indicating the direction, the final destination. So if you say, for example, I'm going to live to France, eu vou viver para França. You don't say eu vou viver a França. It doesn't make sense if you say that. So eu vou viver, if it's to live, you are going to live there. So it's para, it's longer than a. So the a expresses a shorter period of time and para expresses a longer period. So you can say, for example, eu vou para casa or eu vou a casa. Both are correct, but it depends on what you want to say.
Obviously. Yep.
If you, for example, if you are working in the morning, you are going home just to have lunch, and then you come back and go on your work with your work. So then you should say, eu vou a casa almoçar, or eu vou almoçar a casa. So that is, I'm going just to have lunch, and I'll be back. But if you, at the end of the day, you finished your work, and then you say, até amanhã, eu agora vou para casa. Vou para casa. So see you tomorrow. I'm going home. So I'm going home. This is my direction, my final destination, and I'm going to stay. And then tomorrow I'll come back. But it's a longer period of time.
That's exactly
I don't
how
know if
I would. No, that's exactly how I would have explained it, quite frankly. So there you go, James. I hope you're better off for that. Bom dia todos from Aviva. Thank you, Filomena. Ocean Dweller Aviva is here. Bom dia todos. And do you go to Sobreiro? Vai a ou para Sobreiro? It depends on if you're coming back, James.
yes, if you are going to Sobreiro for a couple of hours and then you come back, you can say, hoje à tarde vou a Sobreiro, or ao Sobreiro. I don't know how. I guess Sobreiro is the name of the village, is it?
I think so. Let's say that it is. Yes.
Yes. Okay. So
Is that the one with the massive oak tree?
so you could say vou ao Sobreiro, probably.
Yeah.
Sobreiro. You could say vou a Sobreiro or vou ao Sobreiro. I don't know, because it depends if it's the name of the village.
It is a village. It is a village.
But then if you say vou para o Sobreiro, you are going to stay there.
Okay. Yep. All right.
Right.
There you go, James. He's happy with that.
Or it's just the direction. I'm taking this direction. I'm going in the direction of Sobreiro, and that is para.
Okay, very good. Very, very good. Thank you very much for that. We will be going to Taiwan, Uruguay, and Colombia, but for the moment, it's all about Portuguese language and culture. Do let us know. I came across this morning of talking of, and I want to talk to you about the cookbook as well. This lovely quote from a Portuguese writer I had not heard of, Virgilio Ferreira. And
Virgilio Ferreira,
yes,
a very good writer. Yeah,
it's cut off there because it's not because I've spelt that wrong.
Ferreira. Yeah.
Oh, no, here's a better version of it. Because what is most difficult to bear, this is a great quote. What is most difficult to bear is not defeat or triumph, but boredom, disgust, fatigue, discouragement. They're the problems, not the winning or the losing. Winning or being defeated is not the limit. The limit is being fed up, which I think is an entirely Portuguese sentiment there. Keep going. Whether you win or you lose, keep going. The problem is being dull. Is it not? I think is what Virgilio was getting to there. And he's worth looking up, isn't he? Virgilio Antonio Ferreira. He was born in Gouveia in 1916. Portuguese writer, essayist, professor, and key figure in Portuguese language literature. His prolific literary output, comprising works of fiction, novels, short stories, and novellas, philosophical essays, and literary diaries, are generally divided into neo-realism, dominant in Portuguese fiction at the time, and he was an existentialist who was awarded the Camões Prize in 1992. And you may have seen him at the airport, at the metro station, as you go down to catch your train after having flown in to Portugal. In case you were wondering who the gentleman was sat with you at the metro, it's a Virgilio Ferreira, and here he is, a lovely picture of him, a wonderful actual, one of those wonderful Portuguese caricatures as well. Let me just move that out of the way. Isn't that nice?
Yeah,
So
it is.
Immortalized on the metro. Staying with books, Filomena, this morning. And I showed you this last night, and I think you were impressed.
O Mestre Cozinheiro, yes, the Master Chef.
Well, you see, MasterChef's a TV franchise now, isn't it? And you think to yourself, MasterChef, well, that's a new thing on telly, and that's only been going for a few years.
That's a new thing from 1950.
Exactly. The Portuguese were doing MasterChef in 1950. What's this book then? Is it a classic in Portuguese culture?
Yes, Laura Lopes, right? The author.
Is that right? It doesn't say that here.
Isn't it? Yes, we
Laura
had
Santos, it says. Laura
Or
Santos.
Santos.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Laura. Yeah, Laura. I remember it's Laura. But yes, we have a few books like that that were written in the 50s, in the 60s. Yeah, and to advise, especially to advise housewives how
Well,
they
that's
should
yes,
manage everything about the house, not just the cooking. Some books, they deal with everything, how to take care of the clothes, how you should do, for example, when you receive people at home, how you should set the table
really
nicely. Yes,
domestic etiquette. We have that in
domestic
the UK. Yes,
domestic
Mrs. Beaton.
science.
Yes, Mrs. Beaton. I keep trying to buy Mrs. M that for Christmas, but it's a bit like buying somebody a Hoover, isn't it, or an ironing board? And you notice, don't you, from the time it was published,
Yeah,
it begins, doesn't it? The
minha
introduction.
senhora.
Yes, my lady. Nothing
Yeah,
about
the
house
men
husband.
wouldn't cook. No, the men wouldn't cook.
Right. And I have in front of me then, I think 700 pages basically. So if anybody wants to pick a number between 1 and 700, I will go. I mean, I've opened it at a random page of 547 to see bolo do coco. So these incredible recipes are here, and I think I will highlight some of them at the on the Portugal Club, so we can maybe try these. And look, and when you get an old book, you get all beautiful sort of Portuguese ephemera that
Uh-huh.
comes up. Look at that. Is this an old border d'agua?
Yes, yeah,
A
yeah.
mini, a
They
little
were the
one.
diamond.
Yes, isn't that incredible? Because now border d'agua. Oh, I meant to give you the one I've got, T-Duck, the other day. So this border d'agua used to be a little miniature book, did it? This is so
It
beautiful.
is. It is still. It
But
is
it's bigger than
still.
that. It's doubled in size, hasn't it, these days?
Yeah,
An
yeah.
A4, I think now, or an A. This is
And it's a
A6,
guide.
A5.
Borda d'Água is a guide that tells you, for example, when you should plant these plants or those plants, where you should harvest, where you should.
What
Yeah.
a lovely surprise. That's
Is it for
1982.
1982?
Yes, a Border d'Agua from 1982. You're going to love this, T-Duck. I'll pass this on to you when I see you. This is fantastic. And look at that. What a lovely printing job it is. It's like having one of those printing sets from when you're a kid.
Yeah.
And these lovely illustrations as
Yes,
well.
the illustration. Yeah.
So I feel quite lucky. And I picked it up, Filomena, in one of those lovely old phone boxes that's now a lovely
Mhm.
little public
Library.
library. Maybe we can
Yeah.
just you see books. I was delighted, and I saw
Mhm.
Charles Dickens' David Copperfield in Portuguese. So I might
Mhm.
even have a go at that one day. T-Duck wants me to go to page 222, which I shall do right now. And see hopefully, it's not a duck recipe. Look at that. Look at the illustration quality. That's
Oh,
unbelievable. I
yeah.
saw a little crayfish in Rio Mayor, where I found this book yesterday. A lovely morning in Rio Mayor. There's another Roman ruin there, isn't there? A fantastic visitor center.
Well, we have so many Roman ruins. The Romans, of course, were here for a long, long time, and they were spread everywhere.
What did
Yeah.
they do for us, though? Honestly. Okay, so we have a casarola de casa here. I hope I've pronounced that correctly.
Yeah, cacerola. Okay, yeah,
What is that?
cacerola de casa.
What's he chosen as a recipe inspiration for tonight? It's got port in it, which is good.
Yeah, casa means hunting.
The hunting casserole. He's a vegetarian. That's not good, is it?
Well, it's not for vegetarian. Casa. What are you hunting for plants? No.
No, yes.
No.
Yeah, you'd have to go down the allotment and maybe do that, T-Duck, hunt for a few plants or in the
So
vegetable
it's
station.
probably wild boar or venison or
actually
rabbit.
says-
Probably rabbit.
It says cuatro fatias de toquinho gordo. What's toquinho?
Tocinho,
Tocinho,
bacon.
Oh, so it starts with 4 slices
Bacon.
of fatty bacon.
Yeah, tocinho.
And now, to me, that's a great start to a recipe, and it might not get much further than that. You eat seafood, brilliant. On this matter, then, Master Chef, grab one if you can. I think this is lovely. I've got the 9th edition, which I think you dated in the 60s, possibly. Was that for me last night? The 9th edition. Carl, is it
1950? Yeah.
25th. Mrs. Beaton's Book of Household Management or Mrs. Beaton's recipe book that you're after? Oh, I say. I'd have to go for household management because I think that would be so fantastic to show Mrs. M how to mix me up a nice gin and tonic and bring me
I also have a copy of one. If you want, I can grab it. And,
really?
just give me Give me a
Yeah,
second.
of course. We'll look at some dancing while you're doing that. Okay, and we'll do the God Squad tip of the day as well. So a bit more dancing. This one is from the 44-second one. Is Uruguay? Let's go. Excellent. Thank you very much. This is lovely news. Last night, son Matt and girlfriend got engaged after 6 or 7 years seeing each other in Tenerife. So congratulations. How lovely to do that in Tenerife. Wonderful. Good to hear from you, Deagle. Bon dia, Colin Gumpers, from a sunny blue sky, 12 degrees. Belfast looking like the dizzy magical 20 today until Monday, and then normal weather returns, great, and rain. And the God Squad tip of the day, before we get into some household management with Filomena, who's back with us now. God Squad tip of the day. Sometimes I need to remind myself what God stands for. Growing old disgracefully. Yes. I was as an acronym, of course. I was coaching a young rugby player yesterday who had just returned from a holiday in France. He apologized for being unfit, as he had spent most of the previous week eating bread, cheese, and cold meats while drinking wine. To me, that is the perfect French holiday. So while it's important to stay healthy, it's vital also to enjoy ourselves. As Virgilio told us, boredom is the worst thing. Have a fantastic weekend. Parabéns. Digo, what fantastic news. Excellent stuff. So what have you got there then, Filomena?
I have the same
hold on.
author. I
Yes.
have two other books from
Beautiful.
the same. Oh, sorry.
So Laura Santos is Portugal.
Laura Santos is an expert.
Okay. So can we find out how to treat a husband correctly from here?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Yes. Yes. So this one, Escola de Noivas.
Is that for a new wife?
The brides, yeah.
No,
yeah.
Really?
Escola
bride
de
school.
Noivas. Yes.
Bride school. Fantastic.
Bride school. So
this is a telly show.
Look at what it says. Escola de Noivas, o
beautiful.
verdadeiro guia das donas de casa. The true guide of
guide.
the housewives.
Oh my goodness! I'm so glad we're having this conversation.
Tudo que a mulher deve saber para governar bem o seu lar. Everything that the woman should know to manage well her home.
This is
500
where it all
recipes
went wrong.
as well. 500 recipes in this book for culinary sweets and liqueurs.
Can't go wrong. Can't go wrong.
You should also make some liqueurs for your husband.
Oh yes, of course you should. Of
and
course you should.
You see the collection of where is it? The collection of Laura Santos, and there it is, your mestre.
Yes.
Primeiro.
Filomena, why did we not know about this wonderful woman, Laura Santos? I wonder how popular she is in this day and age.
You see, as noivas, to the brides.
To my brides. Let me tell you.
As noivas, to the brides. So here you have everything about how to decorate your home, simplification of the work. So keep it simple.
So she was way ahead. I mean, if she was around now, I mean, I'm assuming she's not with us. Am I
Armários, how you should keep your cupboards, even with illustrations.
On good closet management. I love this woman. Right? Okay, we need to know
o armário da roupa branca, the white clothes.
How to do the washing correctly. Oh my goodness.
Cleaning, limpezas, how you should clean.
White vinegar. I bet you can find out how to deal with mold in there.
General cleaning and daily cleaning, limpeza geral e limpeza diária.
Incredible.
Clothes, roupa.
Ironing. Roupa. Yes.
Look, conservação do vestuário masculino.
How to take care of men's clothes.
How to preserve men's clothes.
I mean, because it may sound, as James says, funny. It seems like a work of fiction.
Illustration to know how to iron.
Oh, I feel like I need this as much as my wife does, to be fair, in this day and age. These are the lost arts, aren't they? Of
Illustration to know how to fold your clothes, to put them away in the cupboard.
There's nothing this woman doesn't know about to keep harmony in the home. This is incredible.
Yeah, and it goes on and on. So these, and then the work in the kitchen, o trabalho na cozinha.
Yes.
The work in the kitchen.
Look, we need James to stop virtue signaling here. This is for women, this book.
Then, for example, the list of what you should have.
Where?
Yeah.
What in the house? Could you tell us the first 5 possibly of what we should have, just to make sure we're doing okay here?
3 caçarolas de 13, 16 e 20 centímetros de diâmetro.
Okay, and those would be
3 casseroles.
Yes,
of 13, 16 or 20 centimeters diameter.
Right.
Uma panela de 8 litros de pressão.
Right.
A slow cooker of 8 liters.
Obviously, yes.
Tacho de 24 centímetros de diâmetro. We say tacho when it's a lower pan. If it's a higher pan, is panela. If it's a lower one, is tacho. So one pan, 24 centimeters. And then 3 frying pans of different diameters, 10, 16, and 20. And so on and so on.
I absolutely love this woman. And we're all feeling quite embarrassed that probably none of us have got any of those things that you've just mentioned.
Look, how to introduce someone.
Please stay seated. Never get up. Offer your right hand forward. Do not stand, and shake the hand gently. Amazing.
And some advices, if those were not enough, some other advices for housewives.
Amazing.
And then the recipes. But this one, this one is the woman in the living room and in the kitchen.
Where else would she be?
A mulher na sala e na cozinha.
Okay, that's brilliant. I love that illustration. Isn't that fantastic?
Yeah. So a mulher na sala e na cozinha.
Wow.
So of course, where else, as you said. So you see, etiqueta, cozinhados, bolos, doces, pudins, sorvetes, soufflés, cocktails, etc. Right? So
that's a complete repertoire as far as I'm concerned. Amazing.
Yeah. So
now I've just done a quick search on Laura Santos, and I can't find her. Has she been sort of erased from Portuguese history because it's not so fashionable to operate in this way anymore? I can't find her on Wikipedia, and I'm trying to find out if she's still with us.
Economia doméstica, Laura Santos, I guess not.
Right.
I guess not.
I don't think Mrs. Beaton is either, but I want to find out more about this wonderful woman and her contribution.
Laura Santos, yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you very much for that. And we'll finish with the other dance clips and Ron Rogers. I'll bring that to you, and we'll have a little bit of webcam action from Porto as well. But of course, we need to see if there are any more questions about Portuguese language and culture for you. And there are. We had a question from a new listener, viewer this morning.
She passed away in 1981.
Really? That long ago? Well, God bless her.
She was born in 1919 and she died in 1981.
Amazing. Thank you for that. What a lovely, I mean, that all came from finding this MasterChef book in Rio Mayor, out of which fell a little baby here, pamphlet of, look at us. We got the best books right now. And I mean, if she was alive now, she'd have an Instagram channel, wouldn't she? And she'd be doing, life hacks and tips and stuff like that.
And by the way, these books belong to my mother.
Did they really? Incredible.
They belong to my mother.
Amazing, amazing.
Yeah.
Bon dia from Manmohan Patil this morning. Good morning to you. Nice to see you here. Bon dia. Thank you for explaining
dia.
para and a use. Can you also please explain where to use para a, para o, para u, para on, and a? Thank you in advance from Manmohan Patil there.
Para u is correct. Para ao with a no, with a au doesn't exist. Maybe it means ao, but para ao,
Probably.
no, you don't say para ao. And the accent is to the left. So para if it's to the something in the feminine, because is the, meaning the in the feminine, then para u is to something in the masculine. So for example, para para Italia, so to Italy, para Italia, because Italia is considered a feminine word, so you could say para Italia, to Italy. If you are going to live in Italy or to spend a year in Italy or so. Otherwise, if you are just visiting, you can say eu vou a Itália, vou a Itália, because it's the A that I spoke a while ago. It's a shorter period of time. So because that is the last A that he has there, but with the accent to the other side. That is two A's together. To a plus the a. So two A's is a. You could say vou, or you could just say vou a Itália, because the word Italia, the names of the countries, there are some countries that are always masculine or always feminine. There are others that you can choose either neutral, no gender, or feminine, like England, for example. You can say Inglaterra or a Inglaterra. You can say vou para. Yes, you can say
which are the ones that are firmly masculine? Which countries are they?
Masculine. For example, o Brasil. It's always o Brasil. You never say vou para Brazil. You always say vou para o Brasil.
Wow.
So that is a good example of para o. Vou para o Brasil. For example, Portugal, no gender. You don't say para o or para, you just say para Portugal. I'm going to Portugal, vou para Portugal. Angola, Mozambique, for example, the ex-colonies, para Angola, para Mozambique. You don't put an article in those countries. But there are other countries, for example, France, England, that you can choose. Both are correct. Either not masculine and feminine. Either it's feminine because they end with an A, France, Inglaterra, or no gender. You can say na Inglaterra, for example, or em Inglaterra. Both are correct in England. Na Inglaterra or em Inglaterra. But if you want to say the United Kingdom, then it has to be masculine, because Reino Unido is masculine. So you have to say no Reino Unido in the UK, or para o Reino Unido, to the UK.
Reino Unido. Very good.
Para ao doesn't exist.
Okay, there you go, Man. Very good to see you here this morning. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for asking that question. We're right up to 10 o'clock. Always great fun hanging out for a little bit of a
Filomena Friday.
Definitely. And I just wanted to share a memory with you before you go this weekend. Have a great Bon Semana to you, Filomena. And a year ago today, this was us when you came over to San Martino de Porto. A year ago. Can you believe that?
Already.
And what I remember so fondly about that is that you brought a bottle of port with you.
Yes.
And we started
port.
drinking it at Palmeira. I think you went in to see Nelson, or somebody went and popped and got some espresso cups, and we all started drinking port on a beautiful summer afternoon here in San Martino de Porto. So lovely, lovely memory there. Thank you very much for blessing us with your presence a year ago today. Anything you want to tell us, leave us with before you go today? I hope you have a bon fim de semana.
Bom fim de semana, igualmente. Obrigada. Well, as I said before, for example, I would recommend if people are in the north to visit Viana do Castelo between the 14th and the 20th of 20th or 22nd, I'm not sure now, but 14th to the 20th at least of August. And you can see a lovely festival there, the biggest festas, the Nossa Senhora da Agonia. And so you can have a lovely time there. At the moment, I'm not sure if I'm able to go. I meant to go, but I'm not sure at the moment. But if I'm not going, some other opportunity we can have some other opportunity to meet, because I was going to meet some of the Gampas.
Fantastic. Okay, another time perhaps then on that.
Yeah.
Okay.
If I'm not able to go, but
Okay.
it's worth a visit, and it's if you like traditions, especially if you like Portuguese traditions and the Portuguese old traditional costumes. The clothes are fantastic, and so you should go and see a few parades, because there are lots of parades that you can see even in the afternoon, not just in the evening, because sometimes people say, oh, it's late in the evening, it's bedtime, I'm too sleepy. But you have parades in the afternoon at 4 o'clock. So
Well, those people should just stop moaning anyway. Come on, you're in Portugal now. Get with the program.
yeah, and at 4 o'clock it might be a bit hot as well.
Yes,
But
exactly. Have your afternoon
but
session.
in this case you have at midnight, if you want, at midnight you have fantastic firework displays, more than once. So you have a long program that you can look up. If you look for Viana do Castelo, Senhora da Agonia, or even if you don't know how to spell Senhora da Agonia, but if you look for Festas Viana do Castelo or something, I'm sure you will find the program,
Very good.
and
Thank
it's worth a visit.
Sounds great. We're going to stay in the north for more dancing. And literally translated, that would be Festival of Agony, would it not? Or the Agonies.
Our Lady of the Agony, yes.
Amazing.
Nossa Senhora da Agonia.
Yes, and next week, Thursday, will be Assumption, the Festival of the Assumption. Went to the Day of Assumption.
Thursday, the 15th, is a national holiday. Yes, so don't go to the bank, don't go to the finance department, don't go to the post office. They are going to be closed.
Go out partying instead. This is the contact email for Filomena. Let her have a nice holiday and break in August, and she'll be back in business. tripsforbrits@gmail.com for tuition, one-to-one or with a small group on Zoom, in
Or
person.
translations.
And the trips for Brits and other nationalities
And other nationalities
are allowed as well.
Yeah.
Filomena, lovely to see you. Love to the family. Love to Miranda de Corvo.
And
take care, and we'll see you again soon.
we might organize for September, not sure, but we might organize a Douro cruise for some
that sounds
expats.
great. That
Okay?
sounds fantastic. Nice big round of applause. Take care, Bob Visamena. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao, ciao.
There she goes. There's the email address. Thank you so much, Filomena. What a start. And yes, her Hidden Gems will be on the Expats Portugal YouTube channel on Sunday evening. Let's do a bit more dancing and hear some music. We're just going to take it easy as we work our way into the weekend. Oh, there's a horse ball. Thank you, John, for that. That's what they're doing. So they're not smacking balls around with big sticks like in polo. They are doing some incredible horsemanship and having to lean right over and grab the ball and chuck it at into the goal and each other. That's from earlier this week. Some fun in Ponte Lima. Staying there now for some dancing. We've seen Uruguay. We've seen Serbia. We're going to have a look at Taiwan's entry now to the world of dance festa going on up there in Ponte Lima. That music is beautiful, isn't it? What joyous music and movement there. And finally, Colombia. are going to be on your screen in just a moment. And yeah, no worries, T-Duck. I will play. You're going to have to give me a thumbs up if you can hear Ron Rogers, because I'm playing it from an MP3 that he sent me in Messenger. It's a little bit tenuous. I hope it works. But before that, here's Colombia. Oh my goodness. Well done, Pontlima. Lovely red trousers there, Colombia. Wonderful. And what an amazing event to bring people over, these fabulous and very accomplished and skillful dancers, as you saw this morning, from Serbia, Uruguay, Taiwan, and Colombia. Thank you so much, John, for sharing those. They need to be stitched together, don't they? We need to make a Delight in Portugal video from those. So I need your help. Oh, I must get my dancing trousers back from the dry cleaners as well. Bags of ballroom. That's what dancing trousers are. Right. So if I press play, can you tell me if you're hearing this? And then we'll go to the webcam, and there's no video made for this song just yet, but this is Ron's new tune. He's been recovering from a bit of hip surgery, so healing vibes, and keep on rocking Ron Rogers up there in Porto. Let me see if you can hear this. Let me know if you can hear this in the chat, please. Oh. Well, I think Filomena is still behind the scenes. I couldn't hear that, and I'm not getting a thumbs up or anything from anybody. So I think I'm going to have to I'll pop that up in the musical thread that we've got in the Portugal Club, where we've got Michael Bliss, whose tune we played yesterday. I mean, that is super. Do you know what? So that there's not a massive vacuum of sound, let me bring Michael's tune, and we'll play that again, and we'll make sure we can do Ron Rogers' tune justice next week. So let me see. I say that I'm trying to share a video now that I'll see if I've still got in my downloads. Let me see if I can play you Michael's wonderful tune. I can see it. Rocket by Michael Bliss. Let's play that for you. Have a great weekend. Take care, and bye for now.
Won't you please tell me what you're thinking? Tell me about convictions that you feel, so I can just try a little harder if I need to, babe. You know what? I need your love. There's something that I need so much of. I need your touch too. You take me up like a rocket. Take me up like a rocket. I feel so weak in the knees, I can't help but stand here shaking. Wanna walk along the road with you 1,000 miles. Tell me, am I on the right road? I like to woo you with a cheap Cabernet. I like to sing songs on my guitar, but am I cool enough for so worried? 'Cause I need your love. That's something that I need so much of. I need your touch too. You take me up like a rocket. You take me up like a rocket.
500 miles an hour.
You take me up on the rocket, yeah. Hey, 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 hey. People say